All right, I'd like to call the City Council meeting of August 15, 2024 to order. Roll call, please.
Alderwoman Ames. Here. Alderman Catalano.
Here.
Alderman Curielli.
Here.
Alderman Jacob.
Here.
Alderman Sismarski.
Here.
Alderman Artwoods.
He's here.
Alderman Artie Woods.
Here.
Mayor Police.
Here, I declare a quorum. Please stand, join the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First, I need a motion to approve the minutes of August 1st, 2024.
So move. Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Comments, questions, or corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Do any citizens wish to be heard on matters not listed on the agenda? None this evening. I have two items for written communiques. One, Holy Ghost Knights of Columbus. It's that time again for the Knights of Columbus financial drive to support its programs for children with special needs. It is popularly known as the Tootsie Roll Drive, in which we solicit contributions and distribute Tootsie Rolls in the process. The drive this year will be held Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, September 13, 14, and 15, for which permission is requested. As in the past, Knights will be stationed at intersections and commercial establishments in Wooddale. That's just informational. Next, Wooddale Historical Society. Board members appreciate the gracious support for their events. This past fiscal year, our sponsored events, Conversation with Game Nights, Harvest Fest, and Ghost Stories in the Barn have been extremely well attended. Folks come from many other areas, and thanks to you, we educate them about the past and connect to the future. Your funds of $8,000 to us also help with our continuing program for first graders, our Fenton volunteers, and in combining with the library on events and displays. We have the Passport to Adventure Museum books online and in person for our children and adults to visit many other member museums of the KDRMA, Kane DuPage Regional Museum Association, and learn about other museums in our counties. Through our association with NEIL, Northeast Illinois Museum Association, and IAM, Illinois Association of Museums. As you know, we were hit with the large increases in this year's insurance. I cannot figure out why. Our broker had to change companies because the old ones was not insuring museums anymore. We haven't had any problems for them to pay out anything. Cannot understand such a large increase. Also, our air conditioner went out this spring, and so a large bill for a new one. We invite you and your families to become members of the Historical Society. And again, thank you so much for your support. Next, Mayor's report. Actually, I have nothing else. Mr. Murmas, Manager's report.
Just one quick item this evening. The city is once again hosting our popular Green Fair event at the Public Works facility, which is at 790 Central Avenue. That'll take place on September 28th. It'll begin at 10 a.m. and go through 1 p.m. And we will have, once again, our very popular document shredding as well as electronic recycling program and some other nice events at that Green Fair. For more information, you can go on our website. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Next, consent agenda. If no objections, we have 3 items on the consent agenda. I'll need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
There was no objections, correct? I didn't see any hands. Roll call, please.
Alderwoman Ames.
Yes.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Curielli.
Yes.
Alderman Jacob.
Abstain.
Alderman Sismarski.
Yes.
Alderman Artwoods.
Yes.
Alderman Artie Woods.
Yes.
Okay, and that passes. Next, need a motion to approve the items. Item number 1, a resolution to approve an agreement for facade and site improvements at 123 West Irving Park Road, an amount not to exceed $7,773.75. Item number 2, a resolution approving a proposal from Landmark Sign Group for the Illinois 390 eastbound entryway sign in an amount not to exceed $19,130. Item number 3, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Wooddale, Chapter 3, Article 7, to combine Wooddale for Greener Tomorrow Commission and Stormwater Management Committee into a new Environmental and Sustainability Committee, and amending Chapter 3, Article 1, Section 3.106B to remove references to the Wooddale for a Greener Tomorrow Commission and the Stormwater Management Committee. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Alderwoman Ames.
Yes.
Second was Alderman Sismarski.
Smarsky, yes.
Alderman Sismarski.
Yes.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Currielli.
Yes.
Alderman Jacob.
Abstain?
Alderman Artwoods.
Yes.
Alderman Artie Woods.
Yes.
And that passes. Okay. Next, committee chairman reports, planning and zoning. Alderman Catalano.
No report, Mayor?
Okay, thank you. Public health and safety, Alderman Currielli.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Public works, Alderman Jacob.
We have one item tonight, approval of final payment to R.W. Dunham and Company for the fiscal year 2024 capital road program in the amount of $271,853.26.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Questions on this one? Roll call.
Alderwoman Ames.
Yes.
Alderman Currielli.
Yes.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Jacob.
Abstain?
Alderman Sismarski.
Yes.
Alderman Artwoods.
Yes.
Alderman Artie Woods.
Yes.
And that passes.
That'll be the end of my report.
Thank you. Finance and administration, Alderwoman Ames.
I have one report tonight, Mayor. A resolution authorizing intervention in property tax assessment appeals, and that is my motion.
Second.
Questions on this one? Alderman Woods.
Maybe this will be for the attorney.
I'm sure it is.
How does that actually work? What do they do? I mean, I see so many discrepancies in tax bills.
Mr. Bond.
What they do is they take a look at if there are any appeals that are raised. A lot of time it's done by probably AI, where they just do a snapshot of what's there. Is there a surplus? Does that surplus exceed a certain percentage? And then they file an appeal. It's usually the larger corporate entities that do that. And what the consortium does, it just makes sense to pay one group because they're going after every taxing body. So they'll go after cities, the township, the library district, school district. So they have the same, and it's the same objection essentially. It might be a different fund, but it lands on the same thing. What they're looking for is a tax reduction, and by having a consortium, they're able to negotiate the entirety of it down, which benefits each of the taxing bodies at the end of the day. So.
Go ahead, Alderman Woods.
So you're saying fund, so I envision this as I go there and want to appeal my taxes and lower them. Say I have a big building, so I want to lower them by 750,000, right? That's a big number, so this consortium would then challenge my 750 and say,
Mr. Bond.
Yeah, what they would do is they produce, so if you're saying, because the way that the law works, you budget for the necessary expenditures under the statute, you levy to meet those numbers, and the concept is whatever you take in, you spend. And that doesn't make any sense. You're going to start the fiscal year out zero. So that's not necessary under the budgeting law. So if you have too much of a reserve, as long as you can explain why you did it, we're reserving that for a future road program. So that's why there's this surplus here. Or we didn't get the invoice on, for this fiscal year, it's going into that one. So they have defenses to it. And then what they'll do with each of those, they'll look at what the circumstances are with the specific fund that they're challenging, and then they'll have a defense to that, and then they can do it with all of the different taxing bodies similar to that, and at the end of the day, to your point, the building owner just wants a reduction. They don't care if it comes from the city of Wooddale, the school district, or the park district, or any other unit of government. just lower the money. So that's really what it amounts to. And by having having a consortium, we do that kind of work. The state's attorney also represents the county as well. So there's a couple of different hands in it, and it just makes it's a better use of the, consolidating it. You're really getting the benefit of all of the different taxing bodies are lowering the tide for those ships, if you will. So they're going to get a reduction. The property owner at the end of the day is probably going to end up with some kind of a reduction, but it won't have the severe impact on each of the municipalities or the taxing bodies to have to negotiate individually. You're not going to get a deal as good as you're going to get in a settlement if you need to.
Follow up, Alderman Woods?
Well, I could go all night on this subject, but
all right.
I'll let it go.
Alderwoman
Thank you.
Ames?
So just to clarify, is this just for businesses, or is this just for a private resident? Because I think people could go to the township and dispute this, so.
Mr. Bond.
Yeah, this is generally, it's the large taxpayers. It's going to be commercial property owners. The individual taxpayers would go to the township assessor, and if you go to the Essen Township Assessor and you make the case for why your assessment is too high, there's a time frame for doing it within the time you receive your tax bill, so you have to move on. It's too late for this year. But yeah, they would individually go to the assessor and work with the assessor's office, and then they can file an appeal to the county. But at the end of the day, the assessor's been pretty reasonable, but the commercial properties, that's not, the assessor's not going to move much on that, so they need to do it in the aggregate and bring in all the taxing bodies on their request to reduce their taxes. That's what those big, large property owners like to do.
Well, unless you reach that threshold.
Go ahead.
Could be
Alderman Woods.
residential also.
It could be. But it has to be worth their while to go in for the appeal and pay somebody to do it, because they get a percentage of the lawyers on the other side are getting a percentage of the tax savings. So if there's a minimal tax saving, some of my colleagues may not be interested in pursuing that appeal.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call.
Alderwoman Ames.
Yes.
Alderman Sismarski.
Yes.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Currielli.
Yes.
Alderman Jacob.
Abstain.
Alderman Alderman Artwoods.
Yes.
Alderman Artie Woods.
Yes.
Okay, and that passes.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Nothing under other business this evening. Approval of list of bills for August 15th. Alderwoman Ames.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the list of bills for August 15th, 2024, in the amount of $1,458,265.05.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Questions on any of the bills? Alderman Artie Woods.
I have a couple, Mayor. First one is probably for Alan. You look like you want to answer some questions today. No, I just had a quick question about the ChemWise stuff for the rat mitigation program. I get what the cost is, but I wanted to see if there's an update on how that's going. I saw some concerning videos on social media near the train station with some interesting activity with some little guys running around, so.
Go ahead, Mr. Lang.
Yeah, there is, I think there's about 10 residents participating in the program right now, and there's gaining some interest in the program, particularly in the areas where we targeted with the letters, so.
Any feedback from them yet? I
Okay,
guess
Alderman Artie Woods.
It's feedback as far as the program and how it's working, it's kind of early to tell.
And one
Go
follow-up
ahead.
on that. Who's responsible for cleaning the grassy area near the train station?
Mr. Lang.
So the Metra ditch line, I think is what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Metra maintains that. They come out once every couple of years and mow the tall grass, despite the city's pleas to come out more frequently.
For garbage pickup,
Go
are
ahead.
they responsible as well?
Yes, yeah, we can't enter Metra's
That's
right away
right.
without their permission, and then you need flaggers and all sorts of things.
Perfect.
Follow?
Thank you.
Alderman Sismarski.
Yeah, since you're on that subject, is there a way to go through to all the abandoned homes that we have in Ward 4? Because where that rat mitigation is happening, is a lot of them are around the abandoned sites that we've been trying to get
Mr.
taken
Lang?
care of.
So we have done that with one property in particular where there was a known issue
Oh.
as it relates to public health. So we want to make sure that there is an issue before we go out and proactively place traps, because obviously they're bait, so they're going to attract rodents if they're not there already. But that is something that we've been working with property maintenance on.
Follow up?
No, there's just one on Oak that I'd like you to look at too, so, thanks.
All right. Alderman Jacob.
With the program, have they actually trapped or caught any rats yet, or how has it been going as far as that is?
Go ahead, Mr. Lang.
So what gets placed is actually bait that's loaded with the poison, so they come, they take the bait, and they die elsewhere, so it's not like a mechanical trap where you can actually see the results, but
Okay.
I think it's still a little early to tell, but happy to provide feedback as we get it.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Alderman Artiewicz, follow-up?
For Brad, I got one.
Oh, for Brad, go ahead.
Just get them ready. I'm just seeing a few different Prairie Fest items on the listed bills. I just want to see when we're going to have the final numbers for Prairie Fest, if this is the last of it, or if there's still more peak.
Mr. Wilson?
Yeah, so there is one invoice that we know is still coming. However, we know what that amount is, so that'll be fine. I believe we have that meeting on September 5th.
Yes.
So the information for that meeting has to come out obviously a week ahead of time. So it'll be in the packet that we put out from the exact date, but it's the end of this month.
So a couple more weeks?
Yeah, so I mean, I think, and the couple invoices on this list of bills were smaller in nature, aside from the
Yeah.
fireworks, which we already knew what the fireworks number was, so that wasn't a surprise.
That's why I thought this might be the
Go
last
ahead.
of it.
Yeah, that's our hope.
But, okay.
And I think if there's anything that comes up, like, to be clear, the porta potties, that's the one that we haven't seen come through yet, but we know what that number is. We've already included it, so as we know what
Okay.
it is. But I think if we see anything else, it'll just be something maybe $100 here, $100 there.
Yeah.
It's not going to really materially impact the overall scope of the numbers.
Any follow-up?
No, thank you.
Alderman Sismarski?
Yeah, just a follow-up with Brad and Artie's comment. Just so the residents know at home, this is not the only town in the area that's having an issue with the mitigation. All towns are having a problem, very large problem, anyone along the tracks,
Oh,
including Chicago. So, we're not alone.
okay. Any other questions? Roll call.
Alderwoman Ames.
Yes.
Alderman Currielli.
Yes.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Jacob.
Abstain.
Alderman Sismarski.
Yes.
Alderman Artwoods.
Yes.
Alderman Artiewicz.
Yes.
Okay, and that passes. We have no executive session. Do have one informational item. Just thanking Alderman Peter Jacob for his service. This would be his last meeting. Thank you very much, Peter.
Did you get fired?
Are we not having
No, no, we-
cupcakes or candles or a
Well,
plaque or-
we're going to invite him back, no problem.
Okay.
We'll get on
All
the
right.
I just, wanted to mention that.
I'm sticking up for Pete. He's trying to.
Next.
I'm ready with the cake and cupcakes.
Next, need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.